Faces in your dreams. What do they mean? I dream of people I've never met, faces I've never seen. Who are they and why are they in my dreams? Most people remember dreaming of friends, relatives, work colleagues, people from their past, and people they've seen around but haven't spoken with. And most of us have chatted with celebrities or other famous people as if they were old friends, haven't we? Only to wake up rather surprised. But it's those faces we've never met before that can mystify us in the morning. You might dream of a generalised man, woman or child, someone who plays a role in your dream, but you don't really notice details of their face, hair or dress. Let's just put these to one side. It's those other dream people we want to focus on, those whose facial details strike you in the dream and are memorable when you wake up. In other videos on YouTube, we've explored the dream lover or soulmate whose face is etched on the dreamer's mind for weeks afterwards, a face they feel exists out there somewhere in the world waiting to connect with them. People have told me they have searched for years for the person they met in their dream without success. Typically, these dreams are about connecting with a lost aspect of yourself, integrating it into your being. The dream has all the clues you need to identify those lost aspects, and working with the Dream and Dream Alchemy gives you everything you need to facilitate that integration and feel more whole. It's at that point that the dreamer will often find their ideal partner, and that partner rarely looks like the lover in the dream. How do we come up with these dream faces? While it's enticing and exciting to think that we might be connecting with other people while we sleep, perhaps meeting on an astral plane somewhere between worlds or previewing faces of people we will encounter in the future, these are unlikely explanations. Those dream faces may be selected from faces we've glimpsed and forgotten, faces that seem appropriate to the dream character, or they may be created by our sleeping minds in more of an identikit fashion. You know, this personality type would have a nose like this, eyes like that, and a mouth shaped like the old guy who used to live next door. If you doubt the ability of your sleeping mind to be creative enough to invent amazingly realistic different faces, take a moment to think about how creatively your dreaming mind comes up with totally new scenarios, buildings, landscapes and stories. It's the stuff of dreams. Some of the never-met dream faces are, when you take time to reflect, composites of people you know. You might notice Carl's nose, Peter's eyes and Brent's mouth. In that case, ask yourself what these three men, Carl, Peter and Brent, have in common. As a dream symbol, what meaning might this communal face capture? Faces, people, everyone and everything in a dream represents something about the dreamer. So as to the who these people are, that's easy to answer. They're aspects of you, the dreamer. As to the why these people are in your dream, it's because you're processing issues around those aspects. If you're trying to figure out the symbolism of a totally unique dream character face, break it down. What does a nose like that mean to you? What kind of personality do you associate with a nose like that? What personality do those kinds of eyes portray? What does the set of those lips suggest about what the person is thinking or feeling? Does the face remind you of someone? And what do you associate with that person? You might later see elements of a dream face in someone you meet in waking life, but be careful not to jump to conclusions and align them with the character in your dream. Take a deep breath, return to your dream, and apply all the dream interpretation skills you've learned so that you can gain insight into yourself. When you are clear about your inner world and the facets of yourself those faces represent, you see your outer world in a new and better light. And if you're a little spooked by some of the faces you've seen in your dreams and concerned what some of these more sinister faces may reveal about yourself, here's my story. Half boy, half beast, he sat on the edge of a swimming pool in a dream I had once upon a time. His body seemed stunted, his face albino white, a long wide nose, no eyes. I was very wary of him, not sure how he'd respond to me. If I were to think about my top 10 tips for interpreting dreams, I'd include everything and everyone in a dream represents something about the dreamer. A nice, neat statement, but pretty scary when you dream about a murderer, a rapist, or just someone you really don't like, or a boy beast. I will reveal the boy beast, but let's begin with the murderer. Dreaming of a murderer does not mean you have murderous intent. There is no one-size-fits-all interpretation in dream analysis, but a starting point is to look at who the dream character is murdering or has murdered, so that you can get a feel for what kind of energy the murderer wants to quash. Then ask yourself where a similar battle is going on within you. You can also contemplate your dream murderer, look at how he acts, examine his face, his body language, gather clues from this symbol your dreaming mind has created to represent something about you and your beliefs about life. You can also, when you are awake, question him by doing a dream dialogue. And we'll cover that in another YouTube video. If you know how to do a dream dialogue, have your dream murderer dialogue with the person he has killed or wants to kill. Find out where he's coming from. But let's scale it back down. Let's look at the boy beast I once met in a dream. I was as wary on waking as I was in the dream. What did this strange creature represent about me? And did I really want to know? My first instinct was to let it go, but my more intelligent self knew that there would be much to gain from discovering something new about myself. I thought about his face and wondered what it was about his long, wide nose that seemed important. The answer appeared in my mind immediately. He relied on his instinct to smell danger and respond. Just as quickly, I realised that was why he didn't have eyes. He represented blind instinct, my blind animal instinct. He was albino white because my dreaming mind saw him as having just emerged from the pool, from the darkness of my unconscious into the light of day, with no time yet to gain a suntan. Dreams reflect our conscious and unconscious experiences of the last couple of days before the dream, and when I looked back, I realised I had become newly aware of responding in a particular situation through blind instinct, and this was stunting my growth. The details of the rest of the dream painted the whole picture. I wonder who first coined the term blind instinct to describe an innate, or perhaps also learned, response to a situation that bypasses conscious awareness, at least in the moment it occurs. We respond without seeing, without an eye to consequence, driven by an urge to survive. Those instincts we share with animals, to bare our teeth and growl in defence, to run and hide to save our skins, to feather our nests to provide for our young, to roll over and play dead, to bite back, are genetically programmed to keep us safe and protect our species. But the more we are aware of our instincts, the more we can take a moment, breathe, open our eyes, reflect, and choose better ways to respond. There's been a lot of controversy over the last century or so about the nature of instinct. How much is innate? How much is acquired in early life? Dreams allow us to discover our automatic, habitual, unconscious responses to life situations that we sense as life-threatening. We share many of these with animals, and others we individually acquire in early life, building our behavioural survival skills with blind awareness. Appease an angry parent, undermine a sibling to gain attention, get sick to be cared for, throw a tantrum to get what you want, sacrifice your needs to be protected, look the other way to be loved. You have such a cool job, someone said to me recently, and it's true. I'm constantly in awe of the nature of our dreams and the life-changing insights they offer us when we're prepared to look. And I'm constantly in awe of our dreaming minds that so easily come up with picture-perfect renditions of, for example, the face of blind instinct. Asleep and dreaming, we are outrageously creative. Our challenge is to courageously bring more of our magnificence into the light of day and let it shine. And that last story about blind instinct is actually included in my book, Bird of Paradise. So I'll put the link, you'll find the link to my book, Bird of Paradise, in the box below this video. I'm Jane Teresa Anderson, so for more on dreams and dreaming, visit my website at janeteresa.com. That's Teresa without an H, and you'll find that in the link in the details box below this video too. Or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening.